Hello, everybody. This is Seth here, Head of Operations at QUOINE, and I am very pleased to be joined by Adrian Garelik from the FLIXXO project. Hello, Adrian. How are you?
Hey, thanks for this invitation and for the opportunity of partnering on QUOINE. I'm so excited about this.
Me too. And I remember when we did our ICO and that day, and I guess the token is FLIXXO. It's FLIXX, and it's going to be listed on QURYPTOS in the next few minutes. In fact, I even see people trying to put in orders right now. So we're really doing this concurrent with the listing. And so congratulations. I know it's a long journey to go from a project to a listing date, and we're really glad to be part of your journey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So Adrian, I'd like to get started by just kind of getting to know you a little bit, your background, really before you really launched into FLIXXO. What was your education and your work experience?
Okay, well, basically I came from the entertainment industry. I work in cinema, I work in television, as a script writer, as a producer. But I was always being involved into digital video distribution for the last 20 years. I've been involved in like 3 different startups. So when I first heard of Bitcoin, I thought it was amazing for making movies, for financing movies. So I started investigating, knowing some people from here. In Argentina, we are from Buenos Aires, and the community here is huge. Because we have like this very crazy financial system. So every time we find a way of escaping the financial system, we take it. So I started like speaking with some people. These people introduced me to other people. And in some months, we started, we finally founded Rootstock RSK, the smart contract platform on top of Bitcoin. I've been working there for like 2 years, and within the platform, within the company, I was advising other entertainment companies trying to bring up something on top of blockchain. So finally, I decided to move on my own project. Rootstock was my own project, but my passion is cinema. My passion is content, is like audiovisual content. So I come back to this. I saw there was a huge opportunity for video distribution on top of blockchain, merging it with other technologies. So here I am.
Fantastic.
That's basically my background.
If you could, do you remember the first time you actually sent or received a cryptocurrency transaction? Probably Bitcoin.
Yes, I bought some Bitcoin on Bitstamp. It was crazy because I was sending money to Lithuania or somewhere like that. Well, where is my money going to? I think I bought like 2 Bitcoins. At that time, it was like $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Yeah. That was my first transaction.
So I guess, I'd really like our audience to understand a little bit about FLIXXO and what is the problem that FLIXXO and the FLIXX token is really attempting to solve?
Well, basically, video is everything on internet. 80% of internet traffic is video. And all the video that you see is relying on 3 different platforms. Google, YouTube, Amazon, which distributes all the video that you see. Like if you are watching Netflix, they are using Amazon. If you are watching next, the upcoming Disney platform, it's going to run on top of Amazon. And Facebook. Those are the only 3 companies that can really distribute video on a global scale. And they have created like this monopoly. And they have set their rules. And it's very, very, very impossible to compete. It's impossible to compete. YouTube has no competitors, not even regional competitors. And the authors in YouTube are not monetizing. I think that only 3 or 4% of the authors are really monetizing on top of YouTube. The users of YouTube are not reaching quality content because it's full of spam. It's full of, the market is totally oversaturated. YouTube doesn't show you the videos you want to watch. They show you the videos that monetize better for the platform. And advertisers are not reaching their users because everybody's blocking or skipping ads on YouTube. So we need to create a totally different ecosystem. And the only way of creating that ecosystem, the only way of competing with Google, with Amazon, or with Facebook is creating a totally decentralized distribution system in which the structural costs are zero or near to zero. So that's why we came out with the idea of using BitTorrent. BitTorrent is a protocol for distributing large files, which has been running for the last 16 years, has more than 250 million users. So why it's like organic to merge it with a cryptocurrency in order to incentivize people to become seeders or distributors of content. That's the basic idea behind FLIXXO.
Got it. And how does the Flix token operate in this new ecosystem?
Okay, everybody needs Flix in this ecosystem. First, the authors or the content creators, they need Flix in order to upload content. They need to set a warranty on top of their content. This warranty is going to we are going to give them, they are not paying for posting videos. They are just setting a warranty on top of the videos. This way, we assure that that video is not spam, that quality video, it's a video that could really monetize. You are not going to upload a video of the first step of my son. You can go to YouTube for that. You are uploading video that monetize here.
So is it almost a way to think of it as like collateral, that you're not putting up spam and you risk losing the Flix that you post if it is spam?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
Basically. No, it's not that you are losing your Flix. You are just locking Flix on time and you are not going to earn anything. So there is no a real incentive for you to lock those tokens on time. You can go to the market and sell them. And the author sets a price on Flix for its content. Like, if you want to watch my content, you need to pay me 5 Flix. And also sets a reward for the network. It's like, I'm giving away 50% of my earnings to the network who is actually distributing my content. The more I give to the network, the more chances I have to have my video viralized on the network. The more incentives I give to the community to distribute my video.
So is that, so in a sense, the Flix is displacing fees that content distributors might pay to, say, Amazon Web Services today. They're actually, it's the distributors that are using the network, the FLIXXO network, which is using the BitTorrent protocol. Those are now the recipients, and it's a decentralized distribution as opposed to a more centralized cloud-based provider like AWS. Is that a fair description?
Yes, it's fair, but you are paying to the network to distribute your video, but the real incentive of the network is actually watching your videos. It's not like, oh, I want to earn some money. Our idea is to have people like lending to us like maybe 1 gigabyte of their cell phone or 10 gigabytes of their computer space, not like turning themselves into content distribution network, like having like a storage farm with maybe 10 terabytes of information. So the idea that the real incentive for the users is watching videos.
Gotcha.
If you participate in the network, you get the right of using the network. I think that's the best incentive on this kind of structures. Maybe you can have a marginal earning, but that's not your goal on this network. And the users, they don't need to go to an exchange and buy tokens. They can earn tokens by watching advertising.
Gotcha.
Or they can earn tokens by distributing content. So there is no friction here. Anyone can use the platform. My son, my grandma, anyone can use it. They don't need to understand about cryptocurrency. But advertisers, they need Flix in order to create a campaign, because they're paying to the users for watching their content. They're paying for their attention. So they need to buy tokens somewhere. So they go to exchange. They need to be more professional in this. They need to go to an exchange and buy tokens, or they need to reach content creators and buy tokens from them. We are going to create like the most seamless experience for everyone. So basically, it's a full ecosystem. It's a closed ecosystem, and it's a full economy.
Right. I mean, I think you've articulated there that there's a demand for the token from the advertiser, that there is the ability to supply, the providers of the tokens as well, that people can earn the tokens. And people need to spend the tokens in order to consume the content. So you've created the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, there is a scarcity because everybody needs tokens. That's what's our goal, that everybody needs tokens here. So there is a scarcity. The more users we have and the more demand from advertisers, the more scarcity. So the price of the token increase.
Gotcha. So help us to understand, navigate where the project is in its life cycle at this stage. And, what sort of, so let's start with that. What is sort of the big milestones in your past and in your next upcoming milestone that the community should know about?
Yes, we are releasing the first version of the platform in 3 months. Our roadmap is set to release the platform by the end of May, the beginning of June. So I think that the biggest milestone is that we want to prove that we can deliver. We are going to release the first version. We are bringing up some huge and famous content creators from YouTube. We've been invited to speak at MIP TV, which is one of the biggest TV markets in the world. It's happening in Cannes in April. So we are starting to have like this participation on the media industry, speaking about blockchain, speaking about how blockchain is going to disrupt the entertainment industry. But the biggest milestone for us is releasing the first version of the platform in 3 months.
So let me ask this. Explain to the community of out there, potential buyers of Flix, why would a YouTuber who's currently producing content on YouTube, why would they want to move to the Flix ecosystem and get compensated in Flix tokens? Who benefits from this? How do they benefit from this transition?
Okay, first, once I've heard one YouTuber saying, we are building beautiful houses on top of a land we are renting from someone else. And that's true because they are building like an audience for YouTube, not for their content. YouTube can change the rules constantly. YouTube choose to demonetize you because your content is not advertising friendly.
Right.
With FLIXXO, you can build on top of your land because your land is your community. If you have people distributing your content and keen on watching your content, despite that your content is not advertising friendly, you are building on top of them. So that's the great benefit of FLIXXO for content creators. And they're going to monetize. They're going to really monetize on top of this because YouTube doesn't pay you if you don't have like 4,000 hours of content being watched in the last year, if you don't have like 1,000 followers, or if you don't have like 10,000 views on your video. There are always like rocks in the road for you if you want to monetize on top of your video. So this platform lets you monetize for every single time that someone clicks on the play button.
Right. It sounds like, in a sense, our current methods of distributing content is really oriented by and for advertisers. And what you're introducing is a model where content is really for the producers and the consumers.
Yes, of course. Everybody's producing content with the right message because they want to reach advertisers. Because if YouTube says, I don't like your content, or your content is like, you're speaking about politics and it's not the politics that YouTube wants you to speak about, you are going to get demonetized. It's like that.
Gotcha.
We are starting with YouTube-like content because YouTube-like content, 3, 5, 10 minutes content is easier to monetize on advertising and it's easier to distribute. We are testing this new technology. I mean, BitTorrent's been around for more than 15 years, but we are testing BitTorrent with incentives. So I think that once we have built a large community, once we have a strong network, we can start distributing other kind of content, like series or movies. It's going to take like a couple of years from now.
Okay.
We can even distribute content from other networks. It's like we have FLIXXO as a platform, but maybe HBO Go can come here and lean on the network on certain days of the week, maybe on Sundays when they have a new episode of Game of Thrones, and they don't know how many people is going to get into their platform. Here in Latin America with Game of Thrones and HBO Go, it was a problem because they were not expecting the traffic they had. And you were watching the premiere of the episode and it stopped all the time and the quality was not good. And half an hour later, all the content was on BitTorrent networks and an amazing quality with subtitles. So I think that HBO can get a good use of that network, our network in this case, because this is a legal network. They are going to distribute their content at this time, only at this time.
So in a sense, a competitor, but also a contributor to existing ecosystems to help bring additional capacity for at peak periods, right?
Yes. Or even if you are small, like maybe you are, I've been speaking with some associations of producers and maybe they have altogether like 400 movies and they want to create their own platform, and creating a platform is super expensive. If you want to pay Amazon for deploying a global video experience, it's super expensive. So you can scale on top of this kind of networks.
Right. So that brings me to the next point, which I'm sure you get asked a lot. Just to clarify, so FLIXXO is actually an ERC20 compliant token. And so one of the questions I'm sure you get a lot as you explain the project and how the token works is about scalability. Can you go in some depth about the scalability constraints on the video sharing, for example?
Yes. We really believe on a progressive decentralization. The technology is not mature yet for sustaining this kind of networks, because you really need like a lot of transactions per second. So at the beginning, we are going to act like an exchange where you put your tokens. We are custodians of your tokens, but we are telling you, okay, you have 5, 10, now you spend 5. And when you want to retrieve your tokens, the tokens go back to the blockchain. We're going to send the tokens back to your wallet. That's at the beginning. I'm going totally decentralized. And we are working with, as I told you, I'm one of the founders of Rootstock. And within Rootstock, there is a proposal called the Lumino microtransaction compression protocol. We are working together with Rootstock to develop that protocol that could bring 200,000 transactions per second to the blockchain. But it's going to take time. This is going to take time.
Sure.
And since we are aiming to reach the final audience, like the real public that watch videos on YouTube, I think that at the beginning, like acting like an exchange where you get inside with your username and password, like everybody's used to, is going to be the best way of reaching them, of bringing like a lot of million people into the platform.
Sure. So is it fair to say then, by leveraging the Rootstock protocol as part of your project plan or the development roadmap, that you will not be constrained by the transaction limitations that we see in Ethereum today? No, because we are not going to go to the blockchain to settle every transaction at this stage. Our goal is to do this in the future. Our goal is like in some time in the future to leave the platform, say bye-bye. This is totally decentralized. It's working because of the technology we are using. It can scale to the infinite because it has no growth limits, because every new user of the platform brings new resources to the platform. Instead of taking resources of the platform, he brings new resources to the platform. So our idea is to create this ecosystem and create it on a totally decentralized and transparent way. And switching gears a little bit, talking about on the content side, have you, beyond sort of the YouTubers, and I think you really explained well the value for a YouTuber, but what about more traditional producers of content, like TV shows and music maybe, or I guess videos and movies? Have you had some interest from those sort of producers of content more than just sort of the single person, but you know, real companies that are already producing for broadcast.
Yes, we've been reached by many companies. It was surprising for us because like suddenly you have an email from Universal, and they try to understand what we are doing here. Like all the big media companies, they have like a new technologies department, and they are all exploring blockchain. When I speak with them, they tell me that they want to reach their users without intermediaries. Because when you go through iTunes and iTunes goes through credit cards, like you have many people in the middle, and the price of the content goes high and high. And they know that if they can bring up the content to the audiences for a more competitive price, it's a way of fighting against piracy. So their goal is to do that, and they are exploring this kind of technology. I think when I speak with them and on this model we are creating here, in which we are focusing on short content, short form content, which all the companies are exploring too, because now short form content is the king on internet. So everybody's exploring short form content, everybody's exploring blockchain. I speak with them, maybe if they create like this new Spider-Man movie, they can create like 3 or 4 shorts, like spin-off shorts of this Spider-Man guy doing like something in 3 minutes. They can distribute this kind of content on the networks. On this kind of networks, the audience is committed to the content because they earn money from that content. I watch this content, I love it, I start to distribute this content. Now I have an incentive for bringing more people into this content. So you can create engagement with your main product, which is the movie. So you can monetize on these networks, and you are creating community for your product. So that's the business models we are exploring with like this kind of big media companies.
Fantastic. And one more question around the content side. I was just thinking about, are there mechanisms, or are you even thinking about how to sort of filter out inappropriate type of content so that it's not on your network? And what are those mechanisms?
Okay. The first mechanism is the collateral. That you know that your content is going to be banned on this network. If you know that your content is inappropriate and you can lose your money, I think that the first obstacle for you for uploading this content is that you have no incentives for uploading the content. Then we have a moderation channel. All the content goes through moderators. I think we need to separate the network from the platform. Our platform, FLIXXO, is family friendly. But anyone can come here and use the network to distribute, to create an adult platform. If the network decides to distribute that kind of content, it's not FLIXXO, it's the network. The network is censor-free, not the platform. Because we are going to really get like a lot of millions users. We want to bring advertisers to the platform, which is the excuse for creating the network, is family friendly. We have moderators. At the beginning, we are moderating the content, but we want to leave this to the community also, like a task for the community, like bringing some kind of representatives of the community, choose by the community, and they are going to put some rules, some restrictions on top of the content. But this is FLIXXO, the platform, not the network.
Great. And so where do you see the FLIXXO ecosystem in the next, say, three to 5 years?
Good question. We are having like in 3-5 years more than 10 million users. Probably we are going to reach that amount in less time because of the content creators that are coming to the platform. Maybe people with 1 million followers, 10 million followers. So it's easy to bring like new users to the platform. Our biggest goal here is to keep them on the platform. I think that in some years we are going to be seeing like a real competitor of YouTube. I think that in 3 years, 5 years, we are going to start having like other networks distributing content on top of us. because this is the cheapest CDN ever and the best distributed CDN. Because if you are renting space from a CDN, okay, you are getting the information from one server in South Africa, one server in South America, 2 servers in North America. But here you have the content distributed maybe in 10 million different points. So the bandwidth is the best you can have. I think that in 3 to 5 years, we are going to start adopting 5G on cell phones. So everything is going to be seen on cell phones. Everybody's going to turn itself on a node on its cell phone. All the cell phones will be distributing content all the time. So I think this is the right timing for FLIXXO. And we are going to succeed and have a huge community in the next years.
And that's why we're listing you on QRYPTOS today. Adrian, yeah. I'm very glad we could meet and talk about what's going on with Flix and the FLIXXO ecosystem, and looking forward to more big things coming with the token.
Thank you very much. I want to say that we are impressed of QRYPTOS, of the time you take for speaking with us, for learning about our project. When this market is crazy and everything is about listing fees, finding like this little gem like you is like overwhelming.
Great. Thank you, Adrian.
Okay, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.